Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ, y'all. Let's clap it up, man. Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork makes the dream work, man. You know what I'm saying? This is awesome. But I like to start the class off with saying Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Barakatham to all the brothers, and Yahweh Shemor Alatah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. I'm Precinct Officer Yabra 500, and this is the ISUPK Northern Cal Brotherhood class, all right? Here in the ISUPK, we are only here for the Lord's chosen people. And if you don't know who those chosen people are, let me enlighten you. They're so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, right? And with the knowledge here that the UPK possesses from the Most High, we would change the dynamic and the fortune for our people by showing them who they are and then build them up into a righteous, law-abiding citizen, all right? When I say law-abiding citizen, I'm not talking about the laws of this land, but you should abide them laws. But I'm talking about the laws of the Most High, because those laws matter, all right?
Right.
All right, so with that, let's get into the class topic today. This topic of this class is called The Lies of the Christian Church. Ooh-wee. You know, how many brothers and sisters in here know that the Christian church has told lies? Anybody know any lies that they heard the Christian church say? Let me hear one, right? You got one? What's a lie that the Christian church has told us?
That God said to open up your heart to everyone and love everyone.
That God said, love everyone. That's right. That's a big lie, God. As we know, according to this Bible, that God don't love everybody. So he never said that. Sis, you got one for us? Baba Khan, my brother, what you got for me?
The laws done away with.
That's a big one. The law's done away with. And due to the Christian church telling our people that the laws are done away with, what do? We don't abide by no laws. We barely abide by the laws of the government. You know what I mean? We running them lights. You know what I mean, brother? Hey, it's Shalaki. I'm trying to get to the class. It's yellow. But the laws of the Lord is what matter. And with them telling you, that's like a father, that's like someone who you look up to, right? Saying, oh, look, them laws don't even matter. Don't worry about what your mama say. Listen to what I tell you, right? And in the end, all it does to that child is what? It confuses him. So now the child can be like, well, what make your laws better than her laws? I ain't got to listen to her. I ain't listening to you. So that's why it's important for us to understand that all these laws in the Bible is important, right? The so-called Jewish man, they don't follow all these laws. No, nowhere near it. As I don't know if y'all know, but T.D. Jakes, his wife broke up with him in a church. Said she wanted a divorce in the church. Recently. You can find it, yeah. And he was weeping. He was crying. I mean, after 30 years.
While he was weeping, did he swallow?
I'm sure he did swallow. You know what I'm saying? Now, what did he swallow is the question, but how he swallowed, but he wept, right? But after 30 years, I would expect that for a man to cry, right? But when you are in a position like he is, and you have the power to teach your family and bring your family up, and you in the church and you talking all this positive stuff, but you on the side doing something totally opposite, that shows that you don't believe in what you're teaching. So now for her, she probably was like, man, our whole marriage was a fraud. You telling me all these things to keep me in order, but the whole time you out here swallowing. You know what I mean? You out here at the P. Diddy concerts and show. Bro, that list consists of gospel groups at his parties. It wasn't, I'm talking about choirs, all attending Diddy parties. You know what I mean? So it's like, all y'all people lead the black people where? The church makes the most money out of the black community. Y'all aware of that? The church brings in billions out of any other black, how can I say it? I want to say that. Enterprise, the water. The church brings in the most, by far. Why? Because people was giving a last, grandma giving her social security check to try to keep the church going because she believed in what the pastor's saying. Whole time, pastor is buying them a jet. Like Creflo Dollar, his real name means, if you break it down, it's creative flow of dollar. His real name ain't Creflo, right? But he came up with Creflo Dollars because it's creative flow of dollars. It's all about ways to get income. TD Jakes, I don't know really, I guess his name might be his initials, but at the end of the day, what he pushed was not in line with what the Lord was telling him to push. That's why the UPK is so important, because you're supposed to pay your 10%. Have you ever been in the church and you heard them say, well, we just gonna do an offering for the pastor? Like you pay your 10% offering, but is it an offering? How you been in so long? They say it's an offering, and then they say, hold on, they say it's time to do your offering, and then it's something else they use to get money for people. It's like a donation.
We'll offer the time.
A tithe. There you go. So you pay your tithes, and then they come back and say, well, we doing this offering, $20 a piece. That offering it's not in the Bible. If you really think about it, when you read the Bible, offerings are not in the Bible. Priest funds, we say, it's free will. You don't have to get your free funds. But when they say tithes and offering, they tie them together. They make you feel like you need to give 20 to this and 20 to that, even though you only got $60 in your pocket. I done heard some pastors say, I'm having an offering. How many people in here will have an offering of $100? It's wild, right? And then all those people stand up, and guess what he say? All y'all, it's a special blessing coming for y'all. The Lord's gonna come, he go 100-fold for you. Now, what about them other people who paid their tithes who didn't have it to pay their tithes? They're not getting the blessing? You know what I mean? It's all mental. Go ahead. Okay. So these are the lies of the Christian church that's been taught to us. Here in the UPK, we love exposing everything. We expose, men who wear shirts and fringes on the bottom look like skirts. We expose them. We expose all these, these Christians. The UPK was the first ones exposing these pastors in Christian churches.
Right.
You know what I mean? We've been around since 1969. This is the home of the truth. I don't understand how people can look outside of this to say it's something better. And if you join that purple group, it's only because you miss Christianity. It's only because you wish you was in a choir when you was a little boy. So they got a choir. They're like a choir, man, like a church choir, man, with fringes on the bottom of their shirts. They ain't got. You can't tell the difference between a man and a woman. If they all turn around, they all wear the same shirt. That's deep.
Right.
Come to the UPK, you're gonna tell the difference. Their brothers walk around with fringes on their pants. I don't really see sisters with fringes on their pants. They might have it on their shirts, coats. You know what I mean? Like not on the bottom, but how they blouse it around. But I see a lot of sisters walking around with dresses on, from head to toe, covered. They don't get that at all these other Israelite groups, right? Because the Lord ain't with them, right? So with the first thing, we're going to go to Romans chapter 15, verse 4. Let me get there.
Oh, God.
Everything our people has been taught has been a lie, right? And that's why we have so much killings and mass incarcerations, because our people really bought into the Christianity fact of saying, the Lord knows your heart. The Lord will forgive you for every single thing you do. And we bought into that, right? And what have that done for us? That destroyed us as a people. Like ain't no get back for that. Well, it's some get back, but you got to get in the UPK to get it back. You got to forget everything you learned in that Christian church and follow a new doctrine, a true doctrine. All right, you got that, Baba Kasha?
Oh, God.
Let's get it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So it said, whatever was written before time was written for our learning. So this is how you cut the Christian pastor right here, because the Christian church tell you what? You just brought it up. The laws are done away with. But what that scripture say about, shall I read it again?
Oh, God. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
The scriptures was written for our learning, the good and the bad. It was for us to learn. The good for you to be like, okay, look, I can achieve that, I can get that. The bad is for you to know, I can't do that. That's not something I should do. That's what it was written for. It wasn't written because it just mattered for that time. And that's how people get, that's how they, if you know, nowadays they let more alternative lifestyles lead the church, sing in the choir. Some of them are preachers now. They're getting higher roles in the Christian church. But in reality, that's not acceptable to the Lord. You know what I mean? Like if you believe in one thing, you believe in it all. You can't say I believe in half of the Bible, so I'm gonna live my life this way, but I ain't gonna do this way. Right?
If I may, I'm not sure if you remember, Audubon, but the other day, I think I showed you a news article where there was a preacher that finally came out to his congregation and introduced his husband.
That was on Black Watch.
Ah,
That was on Black Watch, yeah. And there's going to be more of that. There's going to be more of that. Why? Because they don't believe in the law. See, they want to make their own law, kind of like how the Jewish man did. He wants to make his own law. But we know here in the UPK that it's only one law, just like it's only one God, and that law is to be followed. All right. So all this is to help us become a what? A better nation. It's not for everybody. Like I was telling my son, like you can't do what other kids do, and then translate it to nations. We can't live how other nations live. Those are heathens. Let them do what they do. If they want to bathe in horse manure, let them. No, I mean we can't change them, right? But we shouldn't adapt that because they say it's good for your skin. So now you see all these blacks and Hispanics swimming in horse shit. I mean, so like horse manure, right? Thinking it's good for your skin, and you getting all type of diseases, and you know what I mean. But they cool. It's affecting you. Why? Because these laws was for you. God up above is your God. It's not everybody's God, right?
Right.
So, anything else on that, Bible Shah?
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
We have hope and we find comfort within these scriptures, right? Because what we know is that what we see, we shouldn't do if it's wrong. So we find comfort in these scriptures knowing that this is the Lord's word and this is what he's telling us to do. So we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna say we gonna weigh our options. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you Tuesday. No, we gonna live our life like we're supposed to today. All right, and for here and evermore. We're gonna raise our kids to live this way. You know what I mean? This is why we're being blessed as a nation. This is why your commitment, you might not look at it like that. Your commitment that you're committing is going to have you abundantly blessed. Nowadays, you know, pregnancies are difficult for women more than ever. And they say the older you get, the less likely of your pregnancy being successful, right? But here in the school, no matter what it was, every woman in the school that had a baby in the school have a successful pregnancy, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And safe pregnancy. Our nation is growing. And then it's amazing to see all them young warriors at the Passover, right? With the little fringes on their pants and stuff. Fringes look good on little boys' pants, man. They be saucy, right? Little jackets, you know what I mean? They be saucy, UPK jackets. I'm like, man, I wish I was like that as a kid, 4 years old. Wish my father had the zeal that their fathers have. Because do you know what that means for us? Man, look, y'all gonna stay in this truth. We're gonna look back when the time comes and them brothers become warriors, it's gonna be a whole different movement with them. It's more kids in the school than it is adults. Think about that. There's more kids in the school than there's adults. So that's it's gonna evolve into something more powerful. I pray you understand. They already got brotherhood. Some of them kids can't wait to see each other at the Passover. You from California? And they all play. You know what I mean? It's amazing, right? So all these scriptures, I kind of went off, but we have hope and we find comfort in the scriptures. And these scriptures let us know that the way we live our life, according to the Bible, is going to be something at the end that we're going to reap, right? This kingdom won't exist forever. I don't know the facts of how long a kingdom have exist, but I think America is the longest kingdom that have exist with slaves, like using people like 400 some years already. I think Egypt went for like 200. I'm not sure, but America's the longest one. This empire is falling. It's falling. With that, let's drop that. All right, let's go to Apocrypha. It's a lot here. Isaac, could you do me a favor, please? Could you have me an Apocrypha right there? So let's go to the Apocrypha, right? Let's go to Judah. Judah in the Apocrypha.
Okay.
All right. Let's get there real quick. Verse 5. We go to verse 5 and we're going to start at verse 20. All right. We're going to go into how these other nations really conspired against us as a people. All right. We are not African. I just want to say that first. We might have dark skin, but Judah is not African. You know what I mean? We are Israelites. Back in these days, you had the name of your tribe.
We're going to Judith or?
Judah. Yep, Salakia. My bad. Sorry. Judah, chapter 5, verse 20. In those days, you had the name of your tribe. It wasn't about the color of your skin. And that was the first thing they used to throw us off and separate us from our God. Oh, the color of your skin. If you lighter than these people, you better than these people, right? Because what did they say about the heathens? You know, I'm paraphrasing, it said the scripture said the Edomites is the smallest of all heathens, right? So what did they have to do? They had to use color to build themselves up because it's divided. You got a lot of dark skin, you got a lot of light skin or white skin. You know what I mean? Like, and what they did was they try to divide our nation because they know we have 12 tribes. We consist of different skin tones. So now they telling us 400 years that if you lighter, you better. You're not like them people. So what do? We are automatically separated from each other. You know what I mean? Oh, this side of black against Issachar. That's the biggest thing. Black against Issachar. When really we the same. You won't know it until you get around a bunch of Edomites and they show you that you a nigga if you're Issachar. You a nigga. And then if you're a black man and you think you around these Edomites and they love you, they're going to show you that you still just a nigga. You got something?
Wow.
You got something? Go ahead,
The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Okay, so that's heavy, right? So he said if this is I can't think of his name. Ammonite, if I'm not such a tribe, but just a Japanese tribe, right? The Ammonites, that's a Japanese tribe, if I'm not mistaken. This is a Japanese man, and they have a council right now on how they can destroy the nation of Israel because they knew they can overcome them. So he's telling them right now that if they don't have their God, they will be. We can overthrow them. That's basically what he said. Read it from the top of the show.
Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
This is an Ammonite man talking to the chief and captain of the Assyrian army. Those are our enemies. Still to this day, they are our enemies. They don't like us. You know what I mean? You might think that these people like you because you can say we all American. Man, listen, America is more divided than any nation on this planet. It's more divided than any nation on this planet.
Right.
They talk about race wars popping off here. You don't hear that anywhere else. Although we know it exists, this is the mecca of it. So this is the Japanese man talking to the captain of the Assyrian, saying, "Look, you can get these Israelites, but their God can't be with them. And the only way our God won't be with us is if we what?
That's like it, sir. If we sin.
Exactly, if we sin. That's the only way our Lord won't be with us is if we sin. If we don't do what He tells us to do in His book, right? And this is what it is. So like you said, to be ruined, right? What do ruin mean? Ruin. You want to take a shot at it?
It's like it, sir. Destruction.
Yep. Yeah, I'll give you that. You want to take a shot?
Ruin means, well, I'll say destroyed or taken from its natural element. I don't know.
Yeah, that's heavy. You're right. Y'all both was on point. Because it's destroyed and destruction. It's the same thing. You get destroyed, it's destruction for you. It's a wrap. And ruin means to be pulled down, burned, or otherwise destroyed, demolished. You know what I mean? So when you hear that word ruin, oh yeah, man, it's a wrap. So they knew this. Just like how today America know everything these other nations want to do again that they're not cool with. But somehow they seem to know what they want to do. These are the same things that happened back in these days. They had what are they called? Spies that was in every nation to come back and tell them what they wanted to know. And some of these sellouts, these will be the Christian pastors, went back into these oppressors like, look, our Lord, man, look, they if we don't follow our laws, you can come take us over. You can knock us. You can destroy this whole place if you get us to eat pork. Please bring a pig in and tell us to eat pork. And if we eat that pork, you can come in tomorrow night, 6:30. Like on Minister Society, I love that. But when he told me to come at 6:30, he said, "You mean 6:30 at night?" Like, did I stutter? Like, you know what I mean? He didn't want to come in Compton at no 6:30 at night. I don't want to go in Compton at 6:30 at night. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they have people to come in and influence us. And that's why the Christian pastors go to the seminary schools and teach what they teach. Now, if Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes decided to say, look, what I've been teaching my congregation is wrong, man, ISUPK got the truth. Y'all come and teach in my church. Give these people the truth. Guess what will happen to their church and their organization?
It'll be.
I know, go ahead.
It would destroy their church.
It'd be destroyed, right? All their finances will be pulled out. No more government assistance like IUI. See, we don't get government assistance here. Everything here is man-made, built on our own terms. Nobody can tell us what to do or what to say, right? Certain other Israelite groups, they get government funded, but you're an Israelite group. That don't make sense. Just like the Christian church. The money our grandmas and grandpas giving them, that was to fund them. But the real bulk of their money is coming from the politicians. When it's voting season, you don't see Barack Obama coming through these doors trying to get these Israelites in here to vote. Why? Because we don't do that. We don't have no connections whatsoever with Barack, Joe, Trump, none of them at all. No connections. Can't say the same about everybody else, right? And that's how it is. You get somebody to infiltrate that team, or money is what it is. That's why they say money is the root of all evil. That's what they say. But the scripture don't say money is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? It says, lock it. I'm trying to think about it, paraphrasing, but I want to get it right. It says, for money leads to the root of all evil, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, right? So your want for money will be the root of all evil, but it's not the money. Go ahead.
It's like if I may,
Yeah.
the love of money.
The love of money, exactly. So the love of money is not that money leads to it. Money ain't never killed nobody. Money ain't never starved the people out. But the people who love money, that's what we at now. That's why food is outrageous right now in prices, because they know they can sell a carton of eggs for $13. They're gonna push that. But
They didn't know that Harmony came up with a song for the love of money.
yeah, they did. And it was about the first of the month when everybody get their food stamps. So basically what they were saying is, look, you want this crack? Come get it. Give me your book of food stamps. It's the first of the month. I don't care if you got your bills paid. Now come get this work first. It's the first of the month. And that song was popular. I seen dolphins on the corner. Wake up. I'm like, man, I know he did not pay his rent, bro. I'm a little kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the store with a book of food stamps. That's when they had the book. You got the 10s, you got the 20s. I ain't seen no food. What? They had the book of food stamps. 10s, 20s, 25s. They went to 100. Dolphin on the corner. Wake up. They getting it in. Smoking cigarettes and everything. You know what I mean? They doing their thing. Because they didn't care. That's what mattered to them. Getting loaded, getting high. And the whole time, guess what? They losing their house. You know what I mean? Like at one point in time, we all inherited, our parents inherited their parents' houses. Like just think about it. Hardworking people in the 50s, 60s. Now think about the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or 70s and 80s. Start going down. So crack hit the hardest. So it start going down. Now all them kids who inherited their parents' houses, what did they start to do? They start selling them because they want that money. Not knowing that you selling these houses is generational wealth. It's worth more than selling. If I inherit a house, I'm not going to sell it. Even if I'm at my last, I'm not going to sell it. Why? Because this house is going to be better for my son. Let him sell it. He's going to make 5 times as much as I will make. So now here we are. And once I recognized, I'm like, dang, my parents didn't even leave the house. They had a house. My pops before you look, this crazy story I'm gonna say about me, right? My confession. My pops had a house. He sold the house 2 years before he died. Guess what he left me with? Nothing. So 2 years before he passed, he sold his house. I guess he wanted to live his life. But what is the benefit of living your life when you leave your kids in shambles,
Right.
when you leave your kids with nothing.
Right.
You suffered all this time and you learned what life was. I have yet to still know. But when I find out, now I realize how much what he wanted to call living his life could help me. It's selfish.
Right.
But that's what it is. That's how they do us, right? They destroy us in that way. Any more on that, Bible? Because I still like it.
That's all, sir.
To be ruined.
Come. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
So when they say, when the Lord not with these Israelites, we shall overcome them. We can overcome them. And that's what happened in slavery. That's what happened in slavery. We ran. The Lord probably wanted us to fight, but we ran. But why do we run? If we had the Lord that we got, the mighty God we got, why would we run? Never will run. Right? But we ran because why?
That's all, sir.
Go ahead.
We're following after other
We're
cultures.
following other, damn right. So now we know what it is. So we ran because we was living in sin and following these other cultures. And guess what happened? Without our God, we have nothing. See, the Most High always comes first, and we always got to put him first in everything we do. Even to when it comes to the smallest thing. When you go to work, you got to know how to coexist with these other nations, but always remember the God you serve.
Right.
All right? Let's go. We're going to go through 22. Go ahead, 21.
Come. Verse 21.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by.
What is iniquity? Salaki Baba Kushal. What is iniquity?
That's what it says, transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law, right? That's a sin, right? Immoral or grossly unfair behavior. So you just living weird. You living unrighteously. You doing what you want to do. Go ahead, Baba Kushal.
Come. Lest their Lord defend them,
Mm-hmm.
and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
What is a reproach?
Sorry, sir. It's like a bad example.
It's a disappointment.
Come.
Now, so now how I told you what it was. Read it from there, but read it when you get to reproach. Say a disappointment.
Come. Let us let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. That was verse 20. Verse 21. Lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a disappointment before all the world.
Look, so that's saying, look, while we putting this plan together, let's understand this. Let us go when they are weak, because if their Lord is with them, we're going to be a disappointment in front of all the world, right? So they knew the power of our God, and how did they know? From informants, people trading, switching up, just like, that's how they did Christ. You know what I mean? Like, it's something about money that make a man feel like he needs to switch on his people. The best example I can give you is Fred Hampton, right? Black Panthers. Well, I don't know if y'all know the story about Fred Hampton, but Fred Hampton the reason why they was able to kill him in Chicago, is because someone came in and infiltrated him. And the dude who infiltrated him, if you ever seen the movie, just check it out, right? The dude who actually infiltrated the Black Panthers in Chicago unalived himself a few years after the documentary was released. After he came on and said, I'm an informant, I was an informant for the government, I did that. After that, he unalived himself, right? Because he knew what he done was bursar for his people. Like at the moment, they gave him money. I think they promised him a gas station or something, right? He thinking for himself, not thinking in a broad aspect of how it would destroy Chicago as it is today. And that's why Chicago is what it is today. If Fred Hampton was still around and could have lived and made it, a real leader in that community, it wouldn't be like this today. This is why it's so important for us as Israelite man to make sure our elders, our generals, is okay and safe. I'll sacrifice my life for Commander General Yohana.
Right.
I'll sacrifice my life for any other generals because I know the message that they pushing and what they're doing is worth my life. I trust in it and I believe in it.
Right.
Right? And this is the same thing as the truth. I trust in the truth so much that I'll give my life for this truth. I don't hang with my family no more. There's no benefit for me to hang with the niggas I knew on the street no more. I can still slide through the hood for what? It's not a benefit for me. I have a purpose, and my purpose is more important than anybody who walked this face of this earth who not in school, because I'm working with the true God, right? And without Him, guess what? We ruined. They're gonna attack me then. If you ever notice you're not doing things that's productive and you doing things outside of the truth, that's when you get hit. Something always happens. You know what I mean? And that's how it go. Where we at with it? Is that it? That's 22?
That's why we have one more line in 21.
Okay, let's get it.
Oh, Slovakia, we're at 22, Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. And when Achior had finished these sayings, all the people standing around about the tent murmured, and the chief men of Holofernes and all that dwelt by the seaside and in Moab spake that he should kill him.
Mm-hmm. See there? So we saying we gonna be slaves to all these heathens. You know what I mean, they start talking like. Can you imagine that? Like they hear something and they're like, "Ooh, whoa!" He's an informant. He has the information, and this is why they tell us it's okay to abort our kids, right? And a lot of you sisters in here carrying it right now. Got 2 pregnant in here, 3 pregnant women in here. They was talking about snacks before I could get to class. So I'm gonna get hungry. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like, if not for that, look, they want us to have abortions, right? They want us to have abortions. Me and my rib was in the doctor today, and a woman said, she said, yeah, they just trying to, my rib was like, man, they just trying to take, because we was talking about blood work and how certain blood work can be done, and you can find out things that the blood work not necessarily requesting, but you can find it out, right? Like your blood type. She's like, oh, well, you got to request that now. And my rib was like, that's crazy. They're just trying to take away everything, that we have. And the woman come back and, yeah, they trying to even take away our abortions. Now she's 60. She's 60. Now, I'm not, hey, Stella can get her groove back, right? But she's 60. You worried about abortions? And that's you know what I mean? Because she's been taught that. To her, that's her freedom. That's her right. But the Bible tell you what? That's not an option. It's not an option. Right? I'd rather be a maybe baby than no baby at all. Right? This nation got to be built. It has to be.
Right.
That's why Commander Jimmy Yohana tell all sisters and brothers, like, look, before you abort a baby, have that baby and give them to the school. You'll be more happier with that baby in the school than you would be by aborting it. Right? That baby gonna be wearing all black, marching. He gonna have love, sisterhood, brotherhood. He gonna get all that. He's gonna be safe, and then he can grow into be what he needs to be according to what the Bible says he is. And that's major. That's major. So that's the big thing. All right. So the Roman Catholic Church moved the Sabbath day from Saturday to Sunday. That's another level of control. They know what they're doing. These people are crafty. All right. You go to church on Sunday thinking that you serving the Lord, when really you serving the sun god. That's why it's called Sunday. Right? And they've been doing this faithfully. All right. Let's do some comparison. All right, real quick. Go to Revelations 1:1.
Oh, God.
The Christian church tells you that Jesus Christ is white. But they ain't tell you after that, color don't matter. So they're like, yeah, Jesus Christ is white. You be like, well, I heard you was black. Color don't matter, nigga. Like that's how, you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. Shut up. That's what they tell you. But we're going to find out. We're going to do some comparison to what they say to what the Bible says. Right? Because if you really think about it, the Revelation is even the New Testament is the Old Testament. For them, it's old. Like, why would they follow if the new between the old and the new, into the new and now? Why are they even following the new then? Why do they want to acknowledge the new? Something going on. So let's do some comparison real quick. Let's go to Romans chapter 1, verse 1.
Oh, God, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 1. the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach,
The what do revelation mean? To reveal. Go ahead.
which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
John bear record of everything that Jesus Christ saw. John was there. Just like the generals. When they all together, these words, they go to the libraries, they do all that together, and they come up with things, and they see things, and they tell you how it is. You're like, dang, how do these generals know? They ain't even out in the streets like that, but they know, they got knowledge because they've been there before. They seen it with their own eyes. You know, age is the best teller of everything. To have a wise older man is the best thing you can ever have, because he's going to tell you what he's been through, and it's going to help you in what you're going through now. No, we ain't listening to the same music. They have the Temptations and shit. It's like and stuff. We don't got that, right? We got Chris Browns and you know what I mean. It's a different era of music, but what's really different? Nothing. They had Jew joints. We got strip clubs. We got clubs, right? They had Jew joints. They was in there sick, right? That's what the club is, right? It's a Jew joint. It's the same thing. So it's nothing different under the sun. But to have somebody giving you knowledge, you can compare, you can take away. They was out there doing all type of drugs, heroin, and everything else. Now people on methamphetamine and fentanyl. It's no different, right? It's just another drug, stronger, same thing, but it's channeled towards us, right? All right. So where you at about Kashaf? Select it.
Of the end of 1:1.
Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was like, no. It was and he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. Who bore record of the word of God and of the testimony of Yahushua and Mashiach and of all things that he saw.
So John wrote down everything that he saw and that Christ told him. That's important. Now let's drop that. Let's go to Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. About Kashaf.
Okay. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
This is the seven candlesticks is the seven churches. One like unto the Son of Man. This is talking about Yahushua Mashiach. Go ahead.
Clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle.
So he had a garment on down to the foot like we wear in the UPK, and he had he was somebody, what did it say?
Girt about the paps with the golden girdle.
Girt about the paps. That's where the WWF. That's how they get the belts. You know, the wrestlers wear the belts. That's where they get this from. The Bible. They get it from the Bible. He had a belt on, golden belt. It's up there shining, bling bling. Christ was the first one to say bling bling. You know what I'm saying? He had the golden belt on. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think he is up there shining like this? Got all type of beard oil on and, you know, Captain Tazariak oils. He's smelling fresh. You know what I'm saying? He's shining. Christ was. You know what I'm saying? He was the man. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
White is the color. Wool is the texture. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as flame of fire.
Christ made wine. I pray you understand that. Any Judite or Issacharite start drinking, their eyes turn red as a mug. You be like, what the heck? It go in the dark. You cut the lights off, you be like, oh yeah, you right there. Their eyes is red. You can see it, right? That's because I have a good time sipping and strong. You know what I mean? That's how Christ was. Now scriptures say don't get drunk. And a lot of Christians tell y'all drink? Yeah, we drink, but we don't get drunk. All right? You know, drink just knock the edge off. Make it easier for you to operate. You never had a sip and was like, oh, I'm cool, I'm good. I ain't nervous, I can do this. Now if you overdo it, you be like, I need some water. You know, lean up. Now that's drunk. You never see a brother in the UPK like that. Ever. If you ever see a brother in the UPK like that, you already know off top. Hey, Salakia, sir, with all due respect, time for you to go. Oh, no, I drove. No, you're not driving tonight. I'm taking you home. You know what I mean? Period. That's how you do brothers like that. Why? Because that's out of conduct. That's not normal for us. That's not acceptable for us. We conduct ourselves as priests. What do priests do? Priests do lordly things, not worldly things. In the world, they get drunk. In the world, sisters get drunk and they start twerking on each other. And next thing you know, she got a baby daddy and she don't know who it is. That's what they do in the world. In the truth, we don't do that, right? Brothers don't sleep with other brothers' ribs or do that weird stuff. But if you get drunk, next thing you know, you hollering at everybody. And it's just out of order, and that's not acceptable.
Right.
And without these laws, you wouldn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So these laws is very important. But long story short, what it's trying to say is that Christ is a black man, and we're gonna get deeper into it. But Christ had hair of wool, gray was his color, and wool was the texture, right? His eyes was red as a flame of fire. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now we get into the color. So Christ was a dark-skinned man. That white picture that they're showing you is false. This is the lies of the Christian church. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Yeah, he was a dark-skinned man. As if they burned him in the furnace. Man, that's heavy. That lets you know Christ was not like the picture you see in the Christian church. So now you got to ask yourself, who are you serving? Really, who are you serving? I love my grandma to death, but I can't do that. I come into church, I see more. She got more pictures of the white man on the wall than she do her own family. I'm like, Grandma, what happened to the picture when I was 2? Oh, Christ, we put Christ right there. He looked better with. I'm like, that ain't Christ. So Salaki, you replace me with a white man? So Salaki, that's out of order. Boy, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I have to break this down to her. And then she started telling me I'm in the code. I'm wrong. It's normal. I'll be that. But you can't say the Bible wrong. I didn't print this up. We read out what version of the Bible we read out of?
KJV.
What year?
KJV.
What year?
Salaki is 16.
Hmm?
Salaki, sir. I think it's
1619 or something like that, right? It's the first printed version of the Bible. It's the first printed version of the Bible, and reread out of that. So when I pull this on her, I ask her, how can you say that's not the truth? How can you change that? Christ is a dark-skinned man, and with that alone, that'll cut any Christian pastor or anything that they're telling you, right? That alone. To know that Christ was a man of color. And again, it doesn't matter about what color you were. I started the class off with saying that. It don't matter if you light or dark. It mattered about what tribe you was. We had 12 tribes, mixed colors. That's how they divided us. That was the smoothest way to divide a nation, is to use color. Right? The best food in the world is what? Soul food and Issacharite food. I'm gonna keep it real. Soul food is good, but it be too seasoned and you get high blood pressure and stuff. But man, look, I gained all my weight over the last few years off of eating burritos and tacos. I cannot stay away from a burrito and taco, especially a good burrito and taco. I'm like, God, man, I be having. I ain't gonna lie, I be sneaking to eat burritos and tacos before I come out my rib house. You know what I'm saying? I get a nice burrito, right? She's like, baby, hungry now. I'm too wild. Maybe a little later. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yeah, I didn't slam the burritos. Like it.
If I may, Messiah called you the burrito.
Hey, he called me Burrito Lord, right?
Burrito Lord.
And I call him Donut Lord because he like donuts. He always wanted donuts. So I'm like, Donut Lord. He like, I know you ain't talking Burrito Lord. So you know what I mean? Like, that's just one of my go-tos. If I can't find nothing to eat, a burrito, because it got everything in it. To me, it's like everything in one. Like it's a punch, like a power punch, right? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they use color to divide us as the people when really, if we was to bring that all together, we would be the strongest people, even without an army, without a military. We would be the strongest people. Think about the money. Blacks bring in billions a year. We spend billions a year. Just imagine if we were to come together as one nation. This whole nation would go bankrupt. Like the politicians will be eating out our hands. Like literally, where else they gonna go? It's not the Caucasians that's building this nation. It sure as hell ain't the Chinese, right? We all here. And this is why it's so important for this nation to excel and succeed, because we got the juice. It's like it. Anybody got something on that? Is that it on that Baba Kushab?
Let's love it, sir. And his voice.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Come,
skip it.
come. And his voice as the sound of many watchers.
That means Lord, Christ's voice was strong. If you ever go by the water and just listen to the water, you can hear it really, really well. It's actually really loud, especially when you catch it on the right night, right? It's loud. I mean, Christ spoke very firm and strong when he spoke. Let's drop that. Let's go to Daniel chapter 10, verse 6.
Come, come.
I'll probably be dropping it. We probably hear in class maybe 2 more scripts and we go end it. I had a few more to go into, but due to the late start, we gonna cut it short so y'all can get home. Right? I don't want my rib to be tripping on me, talk about she's sleepy. Nah, it ain't because of her, but I don't want to extend the class too long. You know, got slaves and stuff, so we'll take that into consideration. But let's get it, all right? Let's see what we can get through. Go ahead. The book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6, Baba Kushab.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6. His body was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning. His
body was like the beryl, and his face as into the appearance of lightning. I mean, his body was like the beryl, meaning what is the color of the beryl? What color do barrels come in? Brown. What else? No, they come in different colors, many colors, right? And it's not talking about his physical body being the color of a barrel, but barrels come in green too, right? This is talking about the garment Christ was wearing, right? His body, read it again. It's like, read it.
Oh God. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning.
So let's say it was talking about his body. What do we know about the oppressor? They tell you if you colored or not. Christ was colored. Like, that's how I look at it, right? His body was the color of a beryl or is colored. And really, I had a problem with understanding this, right? And I don't know if somebody can answer this question for me, but why do Caucasians call us colored when they get mad, they turn one color? When they get cold, they turn one. I watched Titanic. That one was blue. She was blue. Oh, John, he was blue as hell in that water. Hey, Rose. Yeah, he was blue as hell. Then he turned red when it's too hot. Like who colored? Colored, to be colored, you changing a lot of colors. Our colors don't change. Our colors stay the same. Might get a little tan, but no, bro. Look, they are colored. They're the real colors. Go ahead.
If I may, you actually just brought up an excellent point. If you look at the color white, you can take any color in a crayon box and mark it on there, and it will change the color. But the color black, you can't change that.
Oh yeah, we can get a black eye, and that mug be like, yeah, somebody hit you in the eye, you will see the swollenness, right? But hit a Caucasian. Now I ain't telling you to do it though. Don't bad me. But I'm saying if you was to hit them, you gonna be like, damn, somebody tapped you, right? So it's like it. Somebody got you, right? Because you can see the color of it. You know what I mean? You can see the color of a lot of them. I see some people, some Caucasian people who will say some weird stuff to like, you know, black people, or say something just weird, and their whole face just turn bloodshot red, like their cheeks be red. It's like I don't know if it's a nervous thing or what, but like it's just red. They're the real colors. I mean facts. Those are the ones who turn color. Blacks and Hispanics, we don't turn colors like that. Not how they do, right? And if we do, it's merely because of the oppression that we suffered as a people, where for years and years and years, we've been migrating and mingling with these people. So if you go deeper down the bloodline, you see like some black people will be red, like more than red. And some people be like, oh, it's because you might have Indian in your blood. Well, that's true too. Or you just might be a victim of, what is it called? When they made us all come together. Dang, I can't think of it. what is it? What Dr. King was pushing? Uh, Integration might be from that. It might just be like because integration merely come from our ancestors getting raped and stuff, and then he tried to turn it to make it seem like okay, yeah, this is because we all need to come together, like we all need to be one, right? You know what I mean? To make it feel like it's comfortable for us to be one people, and it's not. That's not. It's not feasible, right? The best thing for us to do as a people to be separate. That's how we really gonna build our nation up and be a powerful nation. You know what I'm saying? Where we at with it? Salaki. I know we colored the
Verse 6.
Verse 6. Let's get it.
And his eyes as lamps of fire,
There we go again. The Lord's eyes was like a lamp of fire. That's strong. Go ahead.
and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Ooh, so he was dark. Now this is a whole different verse. This is Daniel, but it's a whole another verse talking about the Lord being black. Yeah, I guess Christians y'all lose again. It's strike two. Christ was black. Go ahead.
Oh, God. The voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
These are people who walk with Christ, who talk with Christ, who observe Christ, and this is their words. No wonder why they want the Bible to be exiled. No wonder why they're saying the Bible won't be around in 15, 20 years. Why? Because this. Right? They try to be ahead too. They know what we're doing here in this school and what we building, how we building these nations up. Oh man, by far they know this, and they're going to try their best to keep this truth from getting out. But under Commander General Yohana and the other generals, and here in the ISUPK, this truth will be preached and taught in a proper way. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to the Book of Ezra and the Apocrypha. It's gonna be the last. It's gonna be the last one. Does God love everybody? Christians say they do. Christians tell you God love everybody. TDJ said God love everybody. That's what he said.
Chapter
The book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54.
54.
That's what TDJ said. That's what Creative Flow of Dollars said. God love everybody.
Oh, is there second Ezra or first Ezra?
Second Ezra. So, the water. Appreciate it. Second Ezra. Yeah, God love everybody according to him. Let's get into it.
Verse 52?
Verse 54.
54, Salaki, sir.
That's what.
Khan.
Wait, whatever you read.
Khan. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Oh, So what does that say? So out of all of us, Adam, we all came from Adam. Black, white. Hey, they say everybody came from Adam, right? Let's really talk about the Israelites, man. We all came from Adam. We are of Adam's seed. This is who God chose to lead us, right? Adam, listen, that's who we came from, Adam. Go ahead.
Come. 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
The world for our sake. What's the world? Israel. It's for us. One for everybody else. It wasn't for the so-called Jewish man with a small hat with Shirley Temple coming down his face. One for him. This was for our sake. This was something we're supposed to give to our kids to let them know that they're special people, that they're different from these other kids. But unfortunately, we lost that. So now guess what? We got our kids playing sports. They tell us that all we can do is play sports and run track and just be the best athletes we can be for their entertainment, while they're sitting at the top making choices that affects us to this day. We can't make a choice. Everybody, this is why I don't vote, because you want to vote for a politician who tells you what he's going to do. Well, I don't want to do that. I'd rather get there myself and make the change myself. Nobody's going to execute a change for you like you would. Nobody's going to protect your family like you would. You have 10 people saying, vote for me, I'll protect your family. Yeah, vote for me, I'll do this. Man, when they get in that office, as we see, they don't care about your family. They just wanted your vote. so they can send out off. So and politicians make bank. They make money. They don't care about us. So what we do here at the UPK is that we make this happen. I'm gonna protect my family. I'm gonna protect my real. Like, it is what it is. I don't need like I wish I had doctor skills because we wouldn't even go to the doctor. I'd be up in that thing like, look like you have a little problem here. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, serious, right? That's me, right? Because, and that's why the generals push that we need more brothers and sisters to excel in certain fields because all we have is ourselves.
Right.
They'll tell us one thing and say, hey, you need to take these pills. And the whole time those pills are not, they don't go along with what situations we have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's mainly, but they don't care for us. They don't love us. We have to love us. And once we realize the importance of us loving us, making sure our kids love each other and our kids got, bro, like, my son be playing Fortnite. He on there. He be going back and forth with all these kids. They be cussing up the storm, right? And I'm like, look, play with. I said, how many UPK kids you got on there? Oh, not many. I don't have any. I said, well, look. Start making a few calls. Call Adawan Natazab, Karan Yala. His kid be on Grand Theft, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to get brothers in with him. And I hear him going in, but he trying to impress the Edomites who he playing with to talk about his brother. I'm like, look, man, that's unacceptable. You got to get off. Well, why? Because you're going against your brother for this person. Oh, well, no, it's nothing you can tell me. And that's what we got in our mind, that it's okay to do. And they teach their kids at a young age to do this. Right? That's not just a coincidence how it happens. They teaching their kids how to do that. So we got to teach our kids how to be strong and how to stick together. Because that's the glue and that's the mold of what we build here. Right? Just like sisters, we got to teach our sisters to stick together. Like every sister should know how to make unleavened bread. It might not be the best option of cooking, but every sister should know how to make unleavened bread, right? And that's why the Passover is so heavy, because if sisters go to the Passover, don't think about enjoying yourself. Enjoy yourself, but don't think about enjoying yourself. There's sisters who was watching the kids at the Passover, right? When the lights went out, those sisters in there watching the kids. They wasn't at the black party. They could have been with their husbands at the all black party. I'm sure some of their husbands performed, but they was watching the kids. Then you got some sisters who went and spent their whole day on Friday night making unleavened bread for everybody to eat. The reason why I say it's important for every sister to know how to make unleavened bread, because this is our nationality. This is a law for the Lord, saying like I try to make it. I don't know how good it came out. You know what I mean? I know a few brothers that made them and they made pancakes on it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. But it's a certain way you make it, and you only can learn it if you actually participate.
Oh, that's a rat. Sawaki. Oh. Sawaki, sir.
That's all right. That's what. That's all right. That's
I heard it too.
all right.
Oh, that's scared me. Yeah, it went weird.
That's all right. But look, it's important for us to be able to make unleavened bread. It's important for us to, as a nation, do what we need to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
If I may, sir, see how the world tries to come and attack us when we
No, that's from being in the hood. That's from the hood. We in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we can do to combat that is get a cat or put more stuff out, right? But at the end of the day, this is a distraction. He gonna run from you just like we gonna run from him.
Right.
I ain't gonna run from him. Right. If I went on video, I would have smashed him. I would have stepped on his throat.
Man, most
you know what I mean? But with that, we gonna end the class, man. With that, we gonna end the class, all right? I like to clap it up for everybody that's in here, man. A lot of y'all places, man. I like to salute the brother out. Stand up and do it. Hold on. Actually, let me see. Salaki. We're gonna do it in the proper manner, all right?
Oh, God.
All right, we're gonna do it the way we need to do it. Salaki, y'all, for the the shot. If I may, turn the camera, just tilt it towards this way a little bit about the shot.
Towards the wall.
Yep, just a tiny bit towards the wall. More, a little bit more. One more clip. You good? You good? Stand right here, about the shot. Just how we getting the class out. So like with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Trooper Mawakhan. All right.
We are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohanan. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are also to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew. Mayasharah, 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would choose, you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. Salakia, sir. The upcoming holy convocations are going to be
Just the one that's next. Are we currently in it, or is that?
Salakia. We've already passed the Easter First Fruits. The next one is going to be Memorial Blowing of the Trumpets, which will be October 2nd. So the next holy convocation will be blowing of the trumpets will be October 2nd. Remind Akim and Akwath to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf.
All right. Clap it up for his brother, man. And with that, men of Israel, we're gonna say a module, which means to stand. We're gonna give one courteous salute to the teacher. All right.
Men of Israel, Hamadul Shabbat, Hamadul, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yajmatah. Sisters stand. All right, we're gonna soar, face the sisters. Soar means to turn. We'll give one courteous salute to the sisters. The water for tuning in.
Men of Israel, Hamadul Shabbat, Hamadul, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alakah Hashem Yahushua.
Yajmatah. Dismissed.